And specifically talking about information technology, because we have been obsessed in India with information technology. And if you see, the information technology was coined only in 1981 by Jim Domsick, sorry for the pronunciation. And it doesn't start with, it is not just about computing and software and services. Okay? And information technology encompasses a broad amount of area starting from microelectronics, like this. Yeah, like this, microelectronics. Or an Intel board or the IC chip. It starts from the basic microelectronics. But this microelectronics is based on the basic electronics. Basic electronics means electron movement, basically electron movement. So whatever resistance offered to the flow of electron is resistors. Then whatever ability for a structure to hold this amount of electron, that is the capacity to hold the electron, is the capacitance or the capacitors which hold them, the devices. And the kind of devices which can induce or generate the electrons to start, that is the inductance or the inductors. Then for the cognitive technology, we have the memory resistors which have the ability to retain the memory like our neurons. That is for the cognitive technology. So this, if you combine two resistors, serial and parallel, along with two capacitors, you are able to build a equivalent circuit of a diode. If you combine two diodes, PN diode back to back, you get a MOSFET. If you combine two MOSFET back to back, you get a CMOS. If you interconnect millions of CMOS, for example, Pentium 4 has 80 million CMOS transistor in 1.2 centimeter square area, right? That is microelectronics. Okay. So if you combine all these chips, you get processors and controllers. And if you use these processors and controllers for some specific application, then it is defined as embedded system. A mobile phone is a very good example of an embedded system. Right? A mobile phone is a very good example of an embedded system. Right? If you are able to connect a multiple embedded system, for example, if you can see in a screen like this, okay? So a screen of a computer like this, cracked open at the bottom, if you are able to connect this embedded part with the hard disk, which is another embedded part, with the screen, which is another embedded part, then you are making a networking. The networking starts from devices. For example, like this router, which I am using now to talk to you. Right? This router is a very good example of how to network, this wireless networking. So if you are able to network these devices, then you are getting, that is why in your PC you have IEEE port, USB port, parallel port, that port, this port, all these ports are for networking, right? So on top of this networking comes your software where the user is able to interface with this hardware or computing devices. So this whole array that is starting from electronics to microelectronics to VLSI to embedded system to networking to software, this complete array is information technology.